Hey everybody, this is Mr. Carter. I am a third grade teacher at Maple Hill School, and I am here to read a story out loud to you today. Before I start, first and foremost, I just want to wish good health and happiness and safety to not only the children and families in my classroom, but those across the entire community. And I also want to give a special shout out to the amazing teachers and staff at Maple Hill School who put this channel together and came up with this idea. I just think it's an awesome way for us teachers to get our faces out there to our students and remind them how much we care about them and we miss them. And I just hope that they're safe and healthy and enjoying some prolonged family time. So today I'm going to read to you In Search of Bear, which is by Paul J. Collins, illustrated by Dennis Alonzo. This is a book that I recently found, and I think it's cute. It's got a great message come the end, so I hope you enjoy. But before I start, I just want to disclaim that I do not own the rights to this book. I am simply just reading it out loud for those children who should be at school right now, but they're not. So I hope you enjoy this story as much as I did. In Search of Bear by Paul J. Collins. A quick message from Professor Science. It's supposed to be science, but they changed it to Science, because you can see he's an ant with like little feelers and stuff. However, he has 10 principles of life that he wants to share with us today. Number 1, family is the most important thing. Number 2, appreciate what you have. Number 3, believe in your dreams. Number 4, true friends will always be there for you. Number 5, always be willing to help others. Number 6, think before you act. Number 7, have the courage to act. Number 8, happiness comes from getting things done. Number 9, don't be a bully. Everybody is special. Number 10, handicaps should not hold you back. And lastly, remember to kids and everybody, there are lots of others out there who are less fortunate than you are, so be good and be kind. Thank you, Professor Science, for that nice message. All right, here we go. This is In Search of Bear. Hey, Dad, I need to find a new best friend, said Sean, holding up Bear. Really? Replied his father, a little surprised by his son's remark. I thought you loved Bear. I don't know. He's boring. He doesn't do anything. I want to find a new bear, Sean says. Sean went to his room and got out his books on animals. He read about all the different types of bears. He decided he would go on a journey around the world to meet each kind, to find a new best friend. Which would it be? A black bear? A grizzly bear? A polar bear? A panda bear? Or maybe a koala bear? Nice illustrations. Sean set off on his journey. Luckily, his home was close to the Rocky Mountains, so his chat with the black bear would not be far off. The mountains were steep. Climbing up was very hard work. Finally, almost exhausted, Sean saw a big black bear. The bear had his hands buried in a honeycomb full of sweet honey. He was swarmed by bees, which he ignored as he ate the honey. Here's a big black bear eating some honey. Mr. Black Bear, would you please come home with me and be my new best friend? Sean asked politely. Said the bear. Do you have honeycombs in your bedroom? Bees make delicious honey, and I hope you don't mind having lots of them in your bedroom. Hey, what do bees say to each other in the summertime? It's swarm. He laughed at his own joke. Well, I'm afraid of bees, said Sean, not laughing. You don't have to be afraid of bees, said the bear. They won't bother you if you don't bother them. Sean wasn't convinced. Maybe the black bear wasn't the one for him. It was time to find a grizzly bear. But how would he do that? Sean was a little scared of the bees. Sean looked around and saw Ellie the eagle. He was so happy to see her. Hi, Ellie. Could you please find me a grizzly bear? Sean asked nicely. Of course. I'd be happy to help, replied Ellie. Hop on. I hope you brought your sunglasses. Ellie flew northwest into the wilderness to the Canadian Rocky Mountains. Sean spotted a sleuth of grizzly bears fishing for salmon. Down there, he pointed excitingly. Nice illustrations. Ellie the eagle helping out. Sean got off Ellie's back, thanked her for her help, and walked over to the biggest grizzly bear that he saw. Mr. Grizzly Bear, would you please come home with me and be my new best friend? Asked the little boy nicely. Said the bear. Do you have a cold river in your bedroom full of tasty salmon? No, and I don't know if I like eating fish. Does that mean I also have to learn how to swim? Sean replied. Big old grizzly bear. Sean's asking him for help, to be a friend. We'll see. I can teach you to swim and eat fish. Fish is good for you and full of omega-3 fatty acids. Yummy! You will like the freezing cold water. It's very refreshing. You're not a salmon, are you? Asked the hungry bear. You look very pink and tasty, he grinned. This made Sean very nervous. The grizzly was definitely not the one. It was time to find a polar bear. Sean looked around and saw a great big Canadian moose. He approached him very slowly. Hello, Mr. Moose. Could you please help me find a polar bear? Of course I'd be able to help, eh? Replied the moose. Hop on, eh? I hope you brought your woolly hat, scarves, and gloves, eh? He's Canadian. That's why he keeps saying eh. They tend to do that. The moose and the rest of his herd carried Sean north through the great Canadian tundra in search of polar bears, which only live in the Arctic Circle. Over there, Sean shouted with relief. He was getting cold and tired. Sean got off the moose. Thank you for the ride. It was very nice of you to help me, he said. You're very welcome, eh? Said the moose. Goodbye and good luck with your search, eh? There's the polar bear. Sean walked over to the biggest bear he had ever seen. Mr. Polar Bear, would you please come home with me and be my new best friend? He asked politely. Said the bear. Is your bedroom covered in snow and ice? Is it 30 degrees below zero? And are there tasty fish for me to eat? Well, it gets really cold when we turn up the air conditioning, but there isn't any snow in my room, replied Sean. I live really close to Santa Claus, the bear said. I can try to introduce you. I brought my little cub Pete to meet him, but Santa ran away. I think he was scared of me, but I don't know why. Sean wasn't scared, but he realized the polar bear wasn't the one. I don't think I'd like to keep my room cold all the time, even if I got to meet Santa, he thought. It was time to go search for a panda bear. Mr. Panda Bear. Did I skip a page? Oh yeah, I skipped a page. Hold on. Sean looked around and saw the biggest creature he'd ever seen. A blue whale. Wow. Hey, Mr. Blue Whale, could you please help me find a panda bear? He asked. Of course, I'd be happy to help, replied the whale. Hop on. I hope you brought your wetsuit and goggles. It's a long way to China. After the blue whale dropped him off, Sean headed deep into the lush bamboo forests of China. After days of searching, he came across a beautiful panda bear who was stuffing his mouth with bamboo. Here's the whale that helped Sean get to China, and he's meeting this big plump panda bear. Look at him. Mr. Panda Bear, would you please come home with me and be my new best friend? Sean asked politely. Said the panda. I'm a loner, and I'm on the endangered species list, so I can't go with you. I eat for 16 hours and poop about 40 times a day. Oh, that's a lot of poop, Sean said to himself. Despite being adorable, the giant panda was not the one for Sean either. Even though his tummy started to grumble from eating too many bamboo shoots, Sean was getting excited. His new best friend must be the last bear on the list, an Australian koala bear. His search would soon be over. Here's Sean eating some bamboo. Kind of looks like he's spitting it out. Maybe it doesn't taste so good. But the panda likes it. Sean flew to Australia with the help of several Arctic terns. Terns travel 44,000 miles each year, flying from the Arctic to the Antarctic, and back to avoid the cold winters. They can sleep while they fly, just the way dolphins can sleep while they swim. Sean thought that was really cool. Please say hi to Pete the polar bear and his dad when you go back to the Arctic, he shouted when the Terns dropped him off. Thanks for the ride. Sean wandered across the southern woodlands and found a very cute koala bear. He was very excited that his journey was almost over. Mr. Koala Bear, would you please come home with me and be my new best friend? He asked politely. Answered the koala bear. Do you know that I'm nocturnal and sleep 20 hours a day? In fact, I'm not even a bear. I'm a marsupial, just like my cousin, the kangaroo, over there. Sean was really disappointed. He headed straight to the nearest airport to go home. Being flown over by the birds, and he meets the koala bear. But it doesn't look like they're going to go home together. Sean felt terrible. He'd failed in his search. As Sean sat on the plane, he looked down at his backpack. Who was sitting there looking up at him? Bear. He picked him up, hugged him tightly, and smiled. If you look closely, Bear is actually in his backpack. And Sean remembers and sees him. And I'm sure that makes him happy. As Sean put his head down to sleep, he realized that he had always had Bear. Bear never asked for anything, never complained, went everywhere with him, always listened, and was soft and nice to cuddle. Bear had always been, and always will be, his best friend. Sean's search was finally over. The end. What a nice way to end that story, you know? I just think that, it goes to show that, to appreciate what you have and, a good friend is somebody who listens and is respectful and supports you and doesn't ask for a whole lot. But, this just goes to show that you don't need lots of friends. You can get on with just one. And that was Bear for Sean. He thought he needed new friends. He thought Bear was a little bit boring. But then he realized that after he was, meeting these other bears and they all had, demands and questions and, they needed temperature and snow and fish and all this stuff, that Sean was just happy with his simple bear. Very nice story. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you, again, are safe at home with your friends and family. And I will see you again for another video, another read aloud. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye.